Hi, today I'm going to demonstrate how to implement two-factor solution for Palo Alto Global Protect. So you know that now when it comes to remote access VPN, I think it's better to have some kind of a two-factor mechanism because otherwise there can be security hazards, right? So in that case, here I'm using a product called Privacy Idea. That is a totally free product, so you don't have to pay for any license or anything. So let me write the name here. uh, it's actually a radius server. You know, when it comes to Palo Alto, it does support radius protocol. The product is called Privacy Idea. Privacy Idea. So I'm going to implement this radius server. So using this radius server, we can have this solution. So let me explain here. So here we have this our Palo Alto firewall. Let's say this is the Palo Alto. So then, let's say we have already implemented Global Protect, Palo Alto Global Protect, that is the remote access VPN. So I think actually I have already demonstrated how to implement Global Protect. So in the Global Protect actually we can have local user database authentication, active directory authentication, and those things. But so actually in order to get two-factor authentication, actually we need this privacy idea. So I'm implementing this privacy idea server. This is a radius server, so I'll explain you how to deploy this in detail. Let me put the PI. This is privacy idea. PI radius. Let's say radius because actual protocol is radius in this server. Okay. So then now we are going to integrate this. Palo Alto Global Protect with this radius server. So let's say there's a person who is trying to log into this Global Protect remotely. So then when he tries to access this Global Protect, so he would get this username password prompt. So let's say we are using a local database for the authentication. So once he entered his username and the password, so he's going to get another prompt to enter the OTP, one time password. He must enter the OTP. So he can get this OTP through email. So I'm going to implement email because actually when it comes to privacy idea, we have many options like Google Authenticator and many options, SMS and all. But in this demonstration, I'm going to use email as the OTP delivery mechanism. So through the email, that person can get the OTP. So once he enters the OTP into this prompt, so then only he can connect to this Global Protect. So actually, that is my plan. Okay, so let's start the configuration. So let me log into my firewall because actually I have already implemented the Global Protect because actually since I have already done this Global Protect implementation demonstrations, here I'm not going to explain it again. The only focus is the privacy idea radius server. Okay, let me log into firewall. Okay, so let me go to the firewall. Here, this is the firewall, and actually here I have already implemented this Global Protect. So let me try to log into the Global Protect because I just want to show you that just I do not have any two-factor authentication enabled. So let me connect. I think I entered wrong password here. Okay, it is getting connected. Let's wait. Okay, it is connected. So I think that is confirmed that I do not have any two-factor authentication enabled. Here, let me sign out from this user. Okay. So then let me show you how to install this privacy idea. Here I have this Ubuntu server. Let me show you my uh, version of this Ubuntu server. It's 20.20.04. This is the version. Okay, and actually I have a notepad here. So in this notepad, I have all the required steps in order to install the privacy idea. And I'm going to post these steps into my demonstration description so then you can copy from it. Let me download the GPG keys. Okay, okay, the keys are downloaded. So then let me add those things into the system. Okay, I added those. So then let me add the repository for this privacy idea. Repository means actually this is the place where I'm downloading this this privacy idea. It's a customized repository for the proprietary one. So the repo is getting added. Let's wait few seconds. It's 69, 72, 75, 80, 88, 89, 90. Okay, now it's fine. Let me go back to my commands. So let me update the system. So you can use the apt or apt get update, but here I'm using apt update. So both the commands are working fine. Okay, that's done. So let me install the privacy idea itself. So okay, installing. I'm going to pause the video and come back because it takes some time to get this installed. Okay, we are done with the installation. So then let me create the admin user here. So I'm going to create the admin user. I'm sorry. One moment. Okay. So then I have to enter the password. So I'm putting the admin user password. Okay. So now we are done with this, radius server configuration. So let me try to log into this radius server. Let me check my IP address here. My IP is 192.168.1.150. So let me log in to 168.1.150. Yes. Okay, this is the privacy idea server installation. Okay, we are done. Okay, let me log into this privacy idea server using admin account. I'm logging into. Okay, actually we are getting these prompts. I think it is somewhat irritating. So it's better if you can. Get rid of these prompts. I'll show you how to get rid of this. And let me dive in. And then here it is asked to create default realm, but actually I'm not going to create it now. Let me click no. So then let me log out and show you those prompts continuously uh, coming even though you click next. The second time also it is getting. See, so I'll tell you how to get rid of these prompts. So let me click no, and let me go to config, and let me go to policies, config policies, and let me create this new policy. So let me put just a simple name, web UI, and here the scope should be web UI. Then I don't have to change anything here. Let me go to action section, action, and then here I have to search that is hide. So you can search hide, and here one option that is called hide welcome info. You have to put a check mark there, and then you can type logout timeout, logout time. Actually you have to put a check mark here, because actually by default within 2 minutes time your the logging will be logged out. Default is 120 seconds. So let me put it as 600 seconds, so that means 10 minutes. Okay, so now let me save the policy, and you can see the policy here. So now let me log out and try it again. Let me put the username admin, and then let me type this my password. Okay, I think I entered. Okay, caps lock is on. Let me logging again. Okay, 2 3. Okay, see, I'm not getting those prompts now. Those are now disabled using my policy. Okay, so let me click no, and I'll show you how to create the realm. Okay, so then let me show you how to create this realm. Realm is actually a kind of either you can. Yeah, my kids keep this with me. So let me create this rem. Let me go to config and let me go to rem and let me create new rem. I'm just putting, let's say, local rem. Okay, so let me create the rem. Now it's done. So then what we have to do is we have to create this local database of the users. I mean, we have to create a local database in order to store users. So let me draw the that architecture here. So here the problem, actually the thing is that in current situation what happens is here we have our Palo Alto firewall. This is the PA, and actually all the users are stored within the Palo Alto. But once we integrate not Active Directory, actually this radius server, this radius, that is our privacy idea. So once we integrate this, actually we have to create users within the radius server. So then the Palo Alto firewall is going to get all the users from the radius, and also getting all the two-factor from the radius server. So in that case, actually we have to create a user database within the radius server. So let me do it here. Let me get my, okay, let me go to this server. I think it's better if you can delete this. Okay, so okay, let me do it now. Okay, so let me, oh, don't cry, don't cry. Let me create the user database here. OPT privacy idea, privacy, oh, I'm sorry, you have to go to bin. Then privacy idea pw, sorry, pw idea, let me check, uh, create, sorry, I'm sorry, privacy idea create pw id resolver user. Actually this is the file I'm going to use in order to create this user database, or the not file, actually script. Actually I'm putting these things into my description so you can get those things from the you can get those things. Actually you have to put h, and you can see all the options. So here you can use a username, I'm sorry, dash u, let's say Mahesh, and this the user ID, let's say 1000, and let's say 1000, okay, 1000. So then the password, let's say 65123, and actually description is not mandatory. Let me enter. Okay, my user has been created. Okay, so then let me go back to okay, I'm sorry, actually this is one thing. Actually we have to put this into a file. So let me put it into a file. Let's say etc pidb. So now it's fine. Actually I created the user and put it into a file called etc pidb. Let me cat etc pidb. See, my user is there. So now I can associate this database with my privacy idea default rem. Actually I'm logged out, so let me log in again. Okay, so then I had to go to config and had to go to users, and I had to create a resolver, password resolver. Actually we have password resolver, LDAP resolver, and so on. So actually here, since I'm using local database, I'm using password resolver here. Okay, let me put the name, let's say local db resolver. So then I had to specify the file path, that is I think pidb. Okay, let me save the resolver. Now it's done. So let me go back to config and let me go to rem, and let me here, let me edit here, and let me select the resolver. Now local rem is using the local db resolver, that is my file. So actually I have created a user there called Mahesh. So now I should be able to authenticate using that user. Okay, let me click save. So now I'm done with that. So let me go to config and let me go to tokens. Actually here I had to create this I had to actually the email server profile in order to email these tokens or the OTPs. So in order to do that, let me go to system and let me go to SMTP servers and let me add a one. Here let me put my uh, server. Okay, sorry, let's say SMTP dash server. Okay, so then let me put the address of the server. I'm using smtp.gmail.com. I'm using my Gmail account, and the port number should be 587. And here the sender email is mahesh at firewalllife.com, and the username is the same. And password, I'm putting my password here. Okay, no description. Okay, use at start TLS is fine. So I can check these details using test email. Let me try to send a test email to my other email. Send test email. Okay, now our mail has been sent successfully. So let me go back to this my email. See, now we have the email from this privacy idea. Okay, so it says the SMTP server is working fine, configuration is working fine, but in order to use this Gmail SMTP, you have to this configuration change within your Gmail address, a Gmail account. Here you have to go to security section and you have to enable less secure app access, because otherwise you can't send email using third-party apps like this in this scenario. So okay, let me go back here, let me save this configuration. Now it's fine. So then what we have to do is we have to associate this SMTP account with our tokens, email tokens. Let me go to tokens, let me go to email, and let me select SMTP server here, and here the OTP validity time, that is 600. So that means 10 minutes. Let me save it. Okay, it's done. Okay, then let me go to so now we are done with this configuration. So what we have to do is now we have to enroll a token for that user that I created, Mahesh user. So let me go to token section and let me enroll token. Here I'm going to select email, because actually I'm going to send tokens through email. It's email tokens. Let me select my email address, that is this email, and here rem is this, and my username is Mahesh. So actually I can select it from this drop down. I'm not going to use any pin or anything. So now it's fine. I selected the method and then I entered my user's email address, and I selected the rem, and then I selected the user. But let's say if we are going to use LDAP authentication, I mean for this global protect, so then you don't have to enter the email. The email will be taken dynamically from the Active Directory itself. So then here it says read email dynamically from user source on each request. So that option should be enabled when you are using Active Directory integration. So actually I'm planning to Active Directory integration as a second part. Okay, let me enroll the token. So now I'm done. So let me see all the tokens. Here's my token. Okay, so now we are done with that. Oh, so then we have to configure this, the client secret, or the client secret within this privacy idea server. So we have to use same secret within this Palo Alto firewall. So let me show you how to do that. So you have to go to you had to nano and etc free radius and 3.0 and clients.conf. You have to edit this file, and you have to go to this you have client localhost, and we can put this configuration we need that configuration, that client localhost. So let me go down and put this configuration there. So this is the place I'm going to put it. Client, let's say Palo Alto, and put braces. Okay, here I'm putting IP ADDR, that is the IP address of the Palo Alto's management interface. Here I'm putting this management interface IP, and then I'm putting the secret here. secret. Let's say for the moment I'm just putting a simple secret sys_123. Now I'm done. Let me save this file. I'm going to use same secret within the Palo Alto firewall as well. So let me. I had to restart the this systemctl restart free radius. Now I'm done with that. So let me go back to my firewall. I think file is here. No, actually I haven't logged into the firewall. Let me log into the firewall. 192.168.1.59. Yes. Okay, file is here. Okay, let me enter my username and password. Let me explain the config there. So what I'm going to do is actually within this let me get my pen. Within this radius server, actually let's say this is the radius or the privacy idea server. Actually I created the secret. I created the secret. So I'm going to put same secret within the Palo Alto firewall. So then Palo Alto firewall can access this radius server in order to get this user information and also two-factor authentication stuff. So I'm going to put the same secret within the Palo Alto. Okay. So let me go back to the firewall. Here, close, and let me go to. Let me erase this first. Okay, let me go to device tab. And let me go to this server profiles here. In server profiles I have radius server profile. Let me click add, and profile name is, let's say, radius. You can put whatever the name. And here I'm going to use for the moment I'm using this web authentication, and I'm putting the name let's say radius, and the radius of IP is 192.168.1.150, and the port is a default port, and secret is sys_123. That is my secret. Let me put it here, sys_123, sys_123. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm sorry, one moment. I think something happened. sys_123, sys_123. It says I think what is the mistake here? It should work fine. Okay, now it's fine. Let me click OK. So, and the second thing is actually I have to check my service route, because let me go to setup, and let me go to services, and here the service route configuration, because actually I want to confirm that my management interface is the interface that I'm generating this radius request, because actually within this radius server actually I put the my management interface IP. So then let me check radius. Radius use default. Use default means actually it is using the management interface, no problem. Okay, now let me go to network, and let me go to device, and let me go to these authentication profiles here. With my authentication profiles here. Okay, this is a GP. Let me select it here, and let me select, because I am going to use a radius server here, radius, and I'm going to select the radius profile. That's it. So here that is okay, all, and here type radius, and the server profile is radius. Let me click OK. Let me click commit. Okay, let's wait for the commit. Okay, our commit is done. So actually I think you know what I did right. So here actually I in previous step actually I configured this authentication profile, because in authentication profile previously we used local database users, but here I'm using radius server database users in order to authenticate to this global protect. Okay, so then let me go back to my privacy idea. So here what I had to do is I had to create a policy for this two-factor authentication. Let me go to config, and let me go to policies. Let me create a new policy. Let's say two factor, and then a scope should be authentication and priority is 1. Local realm is local realm, and my user resolve is my resolver, local db resolver, which I created. And let me go to actions now, and let me fail the challenge. Okay, here I have to select this challenge response. That means the type of the token. Actually, that is email. I'm using email. It says white space separator list of token types. It's email. And then I'm going to use email challenge text. So email challenge text means actually you know there's a one moment, use an alternate challenge text for telling the user to enter the code from the email. Yeah, actually this is image challenge text means actually this is the text which is shown within this second prompt, because within the Palo Alto Global Protect, once you enter the username and the password, you are getting another prompt for OTP. So in that prompt actually we need to have a text. Let me say please enter OTP. So this is going to be visible there. Okay, that's it. And then let me check whether we have any other thing. Challenge text, and no, that's all. So let me go here and type OTP, and here okay, email subject. Here we have to put the email subject. uh, uh, let's say you you received the OTP. Okay, just the email subject and email text. Actually here you have to put a this variable. You can see that variable here, OTP. So it says this, let's say please use this OTP, and then the variable. You have to put the variable. So then this variable name would be replaced by the actual OTP. Okay, here OTP pin. OTP pin means actually here the actually user has to enter the password before getting the OTP. So I'm telling that user store, because within the user store only the user password saved. It says either use a token pin, use the user store password. Okay, so now we are done with these things. Let me save the policy. Okay, now let's try to log into Global Protect. Now we should be able to see that the second prompt for the OTP, and also we should receive the OTP via email. Okay, so let me go to Global Protect. Let me enter. My username is Mahesh and my password is this. Let's see whether we are getting the second prompt here. See, verification code. Please enter OTP. So now we got the prompt. So let me get the magnifier and show you. Okay, let me go here. Is my okay? Let me get. See, now we have this enter. Please enter OTP. So let me get my OTP from my email. Let me go to email. This is the email. See, I got the OTP here. Oh no, this is not this previous mail actually. So let me refresh. You received the OTP. This is my email. This is my OTP. 497473. Let me enter it here. 497473. Okay, let me verify. Now if it's correct, so then I should be able to connect to the Global Protect. Actually I'm getting this. Actually I'm getting another OTP prompt. So let me go to my email. And here see I got another OTP. So I'll tell you why, the reason behind that. 980715. So once I enter this only, I would be able to log in. 980715. Now I should be able to connect, but I'll tell you why we are getting two OTPs. There's a reason behind that. See, now we are connected. Okay, we are done. So let me tell you that. Actually, the thing is, let me go back to my whiteboard and explain the reason. Okay, so here the problem is actually when it comes to Global Protect, we have two components. Actually, when it comes to Global Protect, when it comes to GP, when it comes to GB, actually we have two components. The first component is actually we have the portal, Palo Alto Global Protect portal, and also we have this gateway. We have the gateway. So the thing is, the thing is actually when we enter the username and the password within this Global Protect username and password field, so it authenticates against the portal, and also it is going to keep it in the cache, and it's going to authenticate for the use those same credential for the gateway as well. So actually we have to enter the username and the password at only one we have to use it once. But the problem is when it comes to this OTP, the problem is actually this the firewall this portal is going to be authenticated. So because of this second authentication, the firewall is going to request another OTP from the radius. So that's what happened. Actually we can resolve that. Let me show you how to resolve it. Let me go to my this no let me go to my firewall. Let me clear this first, because actually within the Palo Alto we have two components for the global protect. We have portal and the gateway. Actually we are entering username and the password once, but the thing is actually behind the scene firewall is keeping it in the cache and authenticate for the gateway as well. But here it is not happening. Actually the radius server is the firewall is going to request the OTP for the gateway as well. One moment. Okay, let me go to network tab. Let me go to portals. Here what you have to do is you have to go to authentication and this client authentication section. No, not that section. Let me go to agent, and the agent section here, configuration. Let me put generate cookie for authentication override. Generate cookie for authentication override. I'm asking this portal to create generate authentication cookie, just to ask to generate authentication cookie. And but for the cookie encryption, actually we have to select a certificate. I can just select the global protect certificate, no problem. Okay, now it's fine. I'll explain it again once I'm done with this. Okay, then I'm going to gateway, and now I'm opening the gateway. I'm going to agent section, and I'm going to client settings. I'm opening the client settings and authentication override. I'm asking to accept cookie for authentication override, because actually the previously the gateway generate once the gateway is authenticated. Previously portal is authenticated with the username and the password. Portal is going to create a authentication cookie. So then this gateway is going to use that cookie in order to do the authentication automatically without requesting any other authentication. So here I'm selecting the certificate here in order to decrypt the cookie. That is GP cert. Okay, so that is fine, and let me click OK. Okay, but actually I had to do one thing when it comes to portal. Actually I had to put the time, the this time. Let me show you. Let me go to let me go here. Okay, but it says cookie lifetime is 24, but it is not that much good. Let me click OK, deselect and click OK, and let me select it again. I think no, let me deselect and click OK and come back again. I want that to be a minimal time, because otherwise this cookie is going to be okay. No, that is totally fine. Actually when it comes to generation, you don't have to put a time, but only the acceptance you have to put the time, because within this time only, I mean this time this is the validity time for this acceptance. If the cookie is older than that time, so this is not going to accept cookie lifetime. Let's say I'm putting just minutes. Let's say minutes, 5 minutes. So if the cookie is generated 5 minutes ago only, this is going to accept the cookie, authentication cookie. If it's more than that, this gateway is not going to accept it. Okay. Okay, now it's fine. So let me click OK. Okay. So now we should not be getting that the second prompt for the OTP. So we should get only one prompt. So let me check. I think you got the idea, right? So once this configuration is checked, I'll explain it again. Actually we are waiting for this commit. 75% completed. So 99, almost done. Okay, let me go here. Let me try to let me log out from this. Let me go to settings and sign in from this user. Okay, now let me try to log in again. It's connecting, asking for the username and the password. I'm entering the username and the password. Okay, let me click connect. Retrieving portal configuration, and it asks for the verification code. Let me go to my email, and I got the email 637377. 637377. 637377. Let me verify. Now it should be connected without asking for the second time, because actually we are using authentication cookie for the gateway. See, now it is done, so we are not getting any second prompt. So actually, let me explain the thing I did with this cookie. Okay, here what I did was, when this authentication happens. So let me get my pen here. What I did was, when there's two components within the global protect, right? We have this. Let's say this is the portal. Let's say this is the portal, and let's say this is the gateway. Let's say this is the gateway. Okay. So what happens is, when I enter the username and the password and the OTP, so the portal is going to be authenticated. So user is going to be authenticated against the portal. That's done. So then I'm going to generate a user authentication cookie here. I'm generating a cookie. I'm generating a cookie. So then for this gateway, I'm going to use that cookie. So then the user don't want to put anything here. User don't want to put, because actually this is, portal is already authenticated, and it is going to generate this authentication cookie, auth cookie. So then the gateway is going to use that auth cookie in order to do the authentication behind the scene. So that's what happened. So that's what we configured. Okay, now I think we are done with this two-factor configuration for Palo Alto using privacy idea. I think you have gained some knowledge how to implement two-factor authentication using this open source tool. Okay, thank you for your time. Let's meet in the next demo.